So first of all, I gotta apologize. I didn't put a video out on Hytale sooner. I kind of got stuck and trapped in the abyss that is Hytale. That probably goes to show that this game has a bright future ahead of it, and be careful, because you might accidentally get obsessed and play for hours or days building a house or cottage, and then, you know, power goes out and you lose your world. Twice. It goes without saying that with Hytale and its release, there's a lot of things that should be in there that is not. Remember that this is a version from a while ago, but it looks like Hytale is just going to pave a path of success, and the way Simon went about it was absolutely the right way. So let's talk a bit more about Hytale. The release of this game has become synonymous to what could be called a legendary status game revival. It's somewhat similar to that of Final Fantasy XIV, how that game was bad, got blown up, and was revived by Yoshi P. If you guys remember, Simon was one of the fathers of Hytale. He brought it about until it was sold to Riot. Thereafter, Riot tried to do some things with Hytale for a few years, and it just did not work. A lot of people were waiting, and it just did not work out for a lot of us, but Simon came in and bought it back from Riot when Riot gave up on it. It was estimated that it was $100 million that was put into Hytale, a game that started out indie, then it was given to a high AAA studio and was given back to basically an indie studio. And this is very significant if you think about this. You have a game that was initially made to be indie. It was bought by a AAA studio who put in $100 million. But because of the development hell and management that was going on within Riot, it just didn't turn out right, and they sold it back to the original proprietor of the game. And if you look at the example of Riot, and I'm going to say this right now, I have nothing against Riot. I don't favor them, nor do I hate them or anything like that. I think Riot is alright, you know, they're fine as a company, but because of their blunder with Hytale, it goes to show that you can have all the money in the world, a game won't succeed with just oodles and oodles of cash. It just seems like indie games are coming up and showing AAA studios and companies how to actually manage and make a game. It takes a lot. It does. It takes a lot to create something as complicated as a video game, but if you look at the successes out there, like Silksong or Expedition 33, you can see that they only had so few members, or 50 or so. Well, not Team Cherry. Silksong was 3 people and they took like 7 years to make that game, but it came out as a success as well. So you have to look at it for what it is. You have people who are dedicated to the craft. They have a smaller team. They don't have a high enough budget like this. The resources that they have may be a bit more limited. They don't have endless cash, but they're able to come out with a great, if not fantastic, game of the year quality video game. And I don't think Hytale is going to be any different from that. You have a smallish team made by people who are passionate about the game coming back voluntarily. I'm pretty sure some of them would work for free to make this game, and are pretty much dedicated in making this game as best as it can be. Now, with the current version of Hytale, there are a lot of things that makes it feel like it's unfinished, and they've said as such, but I believe even though it is as unfinished as it is, it's kind of more complete than a lot of the games that we get today. And I'm not saying that all AAA games are unfinished, or so to speak, unfinished in a way that it is unplayable. They're all playable, it's just that they feel so unfinished that it's baffling. This usually comes in a line of somebody who's higher up in the food chain, taking charge of planning and what to do with the game, and having the game to come out without being finished due to possible investor pressure. It can also be said that up there, higher in the food chain, you'll also find people who just don't understand people who plays video games. They're looking out for the biggest amount of dollar signs. That's typical for businessmen. Businessmen are everywhere, including gaming. I mean, look at Nintendo. The president of the entire company is just a businessman. But when it comes down to Hytale and its ilk, being indie games, you're usually finding the CEOs, the presidents, the people who are in top management are all gamers, or they're developers who play games. This is the reason why I have such a positive outlook for Hytale's future, and I know there are a good bit of people out there who are saying like this game is just unfinished, or it's just like you know, they don't feel anything while playing this game, and they're probably playing it because of the popularity, and they're possibly a person who doesn't like Minecraft, but they're playing the game anyway, so that happens a lot. Take for example Shroud. Now, nothing against him. I do not hate this guy or anything, but he did say he didn't want to play Hytale until 2 years later when it has more features or it is feature complete. To be honest, I understand what he's saying. I mean, why would you want to play a game that isn't finished? That's exactly his point. He's not playing a game, or he doesn't want to play a game that is unfinished. And that's totally his choice. I mean, the guy is pretty sound in mind when it comes to something that he wants, but for a lot of people out there, they're saying that Shroud is speaking blasphemy. Oh, it's early access. You need to give it some leniency. No, he's coming from a fair point. For some people, early access is not an excuse for a game that is missing a lot of core features. Even if it's early access, if somebody gave you a potato with a stick and you're supposed to get a potato with a slingshot, a stick, and some sort of glue contraption, well, you're not getting the whole entire ordeal. That was just, an example out of nowhere. You could take that for whatever it is. The point I'm saying here is that there are people out there who would want a full game rather than part of a game. And with so many people who are passionate about Hytale and they want Shroud to play the game, you gotta respect the guy for knowing what he wants and not what other people want him to have. I mean, in all honesty, the game is not finished. There's a lot of features that could be included. I mean, I can't tame a horse. I have to keep them in a fence forever because I don't want them to run away. So again, if you think about it, I'm not gonna say that Shroud is wrong here. In fact, it's his opinion, and people yelling at him is just unfounded. But nonetheless, the game is going to succeed, and I think he knows that, which is the reason why he says he's willing to wait for the game to be complete. And when you see a content creator out there or a streamer out there saying, I don't want to play this game, or the game sucks, or it doesn't feel like it's finished, it's okay. If you're having fun with Hytale, then have fun with Hytale. You and I know that it's going to have a bright future, and we're just going to watch. We're going to play the game as it's being developed, and we're going to watch it succeed. There will be a time that this game is going to come out with full feature complete, and then, they're going to add more stuff to it. This is like a similar story to Final Fantasy XIV, and for those of you who don't know, that is an MMO. Final Fantasy XIV would be one of the top 3 MMOs in the world. Did not have the best start. It was actually pretty bad in the beginning. I mean, if you look up barrels and flower pots for Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, you're going to see a rather undying meme, though now it's replaced with polygon grapes. Then you had No Man's Sky, of all things. No Man's Sky did not start out in the best of ways. It was definitely not feature complete. But that studio buckled down, ignored all the tweets, ignored all the social media, going to one guy in the company, the CEO, who kind of flagshipped it into being the greatest game of all time. He learned his lesson and came out with a pretty good game that was gifted to me years later, and I still haven't touched it, but I should in the future. It is a game that a lot of people praise, and the community has won like, what, 2 awards now? 2 Game of the Year awards? And this is not just a win for Hytale. This is a definite win for Hytale, trust me. But this is also a win for just indie games in general. If you're into indie games, this is a story that you must just keep in the back of your mind. This should be a story that you tell your kids in the future. A game that started out indie, was bought out by a high-tier AAA company, had millions of dollars being put into it, was then canceled, and then bought back by those who created it. The same guy who started it, bought it back, and then relaunched it for everybody to see, basically has faith in this game. And we all know that this game has a bright future, so no matter what anybody else says, whether they like it or hate it, it doesn't matter. Hytale will succeed. But what do you guys think? What is your opinion in all this? Have you been playing Hytale? Have you not? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, I hope to see you guys in the next video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.